Okay, so I wanted to kind of go through my experience on the true cost of the Glowforge, what kind of resources I use to create, edit the images that I'm needing to cut or to do my design stuff, the true cost of the Glowforge when it comes to what you're going to need, materials, etc. So I would say this is not going to be crazy in depth. It's just going to be my experience. There are definitely more tools out there. There's definitely less expensive approaches to things. There's more expensive approaches to things. This is the tools I use and how much it costs for me and the differences. Okay, so first starting out is how much is the actual Glowforge itself? There are 3 different types of the machines, and I will say first off, these are the suggested prices or the retail prices on the website for Glowforge, but I have a promo code. Other influencers have promo codes. Anyone who has purchased a Glowforge can have a promo code. So make sure you use a promo code. I'd love it if you use my promo code, but it's significant, the savings. It's like $500 off of the Glowforge Pro discount. So make sure you find that information. The promo code is in my profile. Okay, so the 3 different types of Glowforge, I won't go into all the differences, but the Pro, the Plus, and the Basic. The Pro obviously is the higher end. It's going to be faster. It's got a higher wattage. It has a higher or a faster cut speed, and it has a pass through. That is the ability to create items that are larger than the width of the Glowforge. So if you're looking to probably grow into like signs or something like that, you're going to want to look towards the Pro. Depending on your usage, the speed and stuff might be important to you. I went right to the Pro because I figured I would probably be doing some type of signs of some point. But honestly, the Basic and the Plus are great. They're the exact same machines. They're just going to be a little bit slower and you're going to be slightly limited. There are slightly other differences, but that's kind of the main thing. So let's talk about the price. So let's talk about the price. So the Glowforge Basic, even though the numbers are higher on the website, they already are automatically slightly lower. So $3,995 for the Basic. And if you have promo code that is in my bio, it would be $125 less than that. The Plus is $5,000, so $49.95, and the coupon code is an additional $250 off. And then the Pro is $6,995, and there's promo code for $500 less than that. So that's your basic first purchase. Then there is the air filter. I chose not to get the air filter. The air filter itself is $1,295, and a venting system or the air filter would be a required item. I'm able to vent mine through a window, but if you're in the basement and there's no ventilation, you're gonna need the air filter. And the air filters themselves, which depending on your usage, you will have to switch out, are $250. So in an ideal situation for cost, if you're able to vent it through a window, that's probably ideal. Then there is the warranty cost. So it does come with a warranty. However, if you want to extend that warranty, it's going to range between, for the 1 year, it's going to be $8.99, $5.99, or $4.99, depending on your machine. And if you want to do it for 3 years, it's going to be $11.99, $7.99, or $5.99. So the warranty is important. I did not get the extended warranty, and I'm crazy worried about it. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and this is an expensive machine. The warranty, it does have warranty coverage to a certain extent, but that additional year, that additional 3 years, I didn't get it. I probably should have. So I'm hoping I don't regret that. I'm going to take super care, and I've already found someone in my area that works on Glowforges. I'm going to get it cleaned regularly, so I'm going to try to do some preventative or some basic care so that I hopefully don't have any warranty issues. So that's a whole other probably conversation in reference to warranty and how it's managed with Glowforge if there's an issue. Okay, so then now, once you have your machine and you have it set up and you've decided about your warranty, the next thing you're going to need are things to create images, create designs, edit designs. So the first place you're going to look towards getting designs, if you don't want to create your own, will be the Glowforge product. And I thought the Glowforge product, I still think it's kind of expensive. It is, I'm going to look at my notes. It's $239 I paid for the full year. They run promotions. It's generally looked at $50 a month, but I'm paying, I guess, essentially $19 a month. And there are some great designs in their design store, as well as there's some editing functions that once you get your design into the Glowforge dashboard, you're gonna want to have some editing capability. So I didn't want to purchase that, but I went ahead and purchased it, and it's probably a necessity. The other areas that I use to design, to get designs, to create designs, are Canva Pro, and that is $119 a year. I have a promo code in my bio as well. So Canva is great for all sorts of creating, and the reason you're going to want the Pro is there are two features that I use a lot with the Pro, which is dropping out a background. So if I've got an image that I'm editing, I can drop out a background quickly, and I can also save it as a CVG. So that's the type of file that you're going to use a lot. And so you're going to want the Pro account for Canva. There's just way more images and design elements in the Pro. The next thing I use a lot is my silhouette design area, and I do have the business edition, so I am able to export images out with CVG format. So that is $99 a year. You don't really need the business edition if you want to export as PNGs and stuff, but you're going to need that for CVG exports. And I do a lot in Silhouette. I'm sure Cricut has similar. I'm just not a Cricut user, so you can use those types of design files. So then you have all the fonts and all sorts of like basic images, as well as you have access to their store to get other images. So there's definitely a benefit for having a Silhouette, I'm sure, or a Cricut design space. Then if you're an Adobe user, you might be more familiar with Illustrator, and that comes at $20 a month. I do have Adobe products, so I use it in other areas. But I don't use Illustrator for my design work here, but you do have that ability. The other area, or the other resource you can use is Inkscape, and Inkscape is free, which is great. I don't like it. I think it's hard to use. I think it's clunky and it's glitchy for me, but other people use it exclusively for their designs and for editing, so they might thoroughly recommend it, but it is a free option, so I mean, that's always good to at least explore. Then the other area that I use a lot is Creative Fabrica. And of course, there's a link in my bio. I use Creative Fabrica a ton. It costs, let's see, it advertises around $80 to $90 a year, but my promo code that's in there is $60 for the year. So it's about less than $5 a month. So I use Creative Fabrica a lot. There's so many fonts. So I end up using Creative Fabrica for my Silhouette stuff anyways, but the laser cut files, the fonts, there's just so much. So I use Creative Fabrica a lot, and I just like having the freedom of knowing I have unlimited designs. The other really great thing about Creative Fabrica is that it gives you a commercial license. So having a commercial license, if you're going to sell your items, is important. It's a requirement, basically, if depending on the type of design work you're doing. All right, so then the next area are supplies. So this could be an extensive conversation. I'm only going to go over the basics. Okay, so the Glowforge cuts leather, acrylic, wood. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but a lot of different types of materials. So a lot of the people that go into the Glowforge world are generally cutting wood, maybe acrylic, etc. So I'm going to kind of compare some costs on supplies, depending on what you plan on doing with your Glowforge. Is this going to be a hobby, or are you going to create items to sell? You're going to need to get a grasp of how much the materials cost, which then also goes into the conversation of how much are you going to sell your items for. However, basic cost here. Okay, Glowforge provides products, basic products, acrylic, draft wood, regular kind of plywood, and I think their stuff is really expensive. Well, it is. It's really expensive. There are some major benefits to it, which is that their product is tested. A lot of times people will complain about wood they get at Home Depot because it has like air pockets or like things in it, so that when they starts to cut, it might like mess up basically. But the products that you get from Glowforge will be great. It also comes with a QR code on it, so that when you put when you put the product into the machine, it reads the exact type of material it is and it puts the exact settings in. So as a beginner, this was great. And you get a nice little starting packet with your Glowforge when you order it, so you can test all these products, and then it has the QR code and it reads it. It's really nice. It's really nice to start off with, because you literally have no idea generally what kind of settings you should be looking at in the different types of materials. So having that little sample packet is wonderful. And then you start to look into how much the supplies cost going forward, and it is, I think, crazy. But again, I really enjoy the quality of it and the freedom of just knowing that those settings are probably going to be right on. But I have explored getting products from Home Depot, and there are a ton of really great suppliers out there that will sell perfect materials for your Glowforge. So let me kind of compare some costs on a couple different types of materials. Okay, so a lot of people use kind of manufactured draft wood, and it's kind of a cheaper pressed wood. They might use those for crafts. They might ultimately paint them. It doesn't stain well, but it's a good product. They're either going to use that kind of product to test a structure or an idea or a design, or they're going to use it to create their designs with. So as an example, I'm going to look at my notes here. A same size piece of like draft wood with Glowforge is $9. There are multiple vendors out there that you get really great products for, and if you get like a 5-pack, it's $3.69 each piece. If you get a 100-pack, it's $1.84. So Glowforge, $9, a 100-pack from a great vendor, $1.84 a piece. That's significant. So, and both of them have options for free shipping, so I'm not even going to get into like the shipping comparison. So when you get a Glowforge, you're definitely going to want to find the Facebook groups that, and actually Glowforge has an entire community that share ideas and talk about a million different topics, but you will instantly become familiar with different vendors, small businesses that will have these products, so that you can compare. So another piece to compare is like a plywood. So a plywood is better for staining, and a comparison, a similar product with Glowforge is going to be, for the bigger size, 12 by 20, $22 a piece. And with a good vendor that you can find, a local small business owner, it's going to be like $4.35 for a 10-pack. Again, it's going to range on how much quantity you purchase, but to me, if I can get a 10-pack for $4 a piece versus one piece for $22 from Glowforge, that's really expensive in my mind. Next product is acrylic. So I compared the price for clear acrylic. So Glowforge, a clear acrylic piece, 12 by 20, is $18.50. The same vendor that I'm comparing all these prices to, which is pretty similar. I've got 2 or 3 vendors that I've already discovered that have very similar pricing, very similar like accolades. People really, think they do a great job, and I've had a great experience with them so far. If you get one piece, it was $18.79, so that's almost identical. Or if you get a 5-pack, they were like $8 a piece. So a 5-pack for $8 a piece versus $18 for one piece. And I know that's not entirely apples to oranges, but if you can save that much money by buying a couple pieces, that's, to me, completely worth it. There are also some sort of, probably not entirely required items, but there's definitely items that you're going to use for different projects. One of which is like transfer tape. There's different kinds of transfer tape that you can get, and this is used to protect the wood from overburn when there's sort of a residue that occurs when it's burning. Sometimes it's easier to put a protective coat on and like rip that off later, but you can also not use transfer tape and use certain cleaning supplies to kind of wipe off that overburn. Other things in terms of keeping your Glowforge clean: cleaning wipes, eyeglass wipes, and sort of cotton wipes to clean off some of the residue that happens on the lenses, to keep those clean as well. And I also bought a small shop vac to kind of clean out the dust. It gets a little dusty. Okay, well, again, this was my journey through this so far. I've had my Glowforge for a couple months, so this was my cost so far in this process. So if you're headed into thinking about getting a Glowforge, don't forget the promo code, but at least you kind of get an idea of the expenses to anticipate, and hopefully you'll find your own resources or find my resources helpful.